everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with Pippi and Hugo, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the things I've learned in the previous 28 days of vlogging. So today is actually a re-recording of the video I did on actual day 29. I am wearing the same t-shirt because it's my new Bench World t-shirt from Vilnius. I just got it a couple weeks ago. They ran out of t-shirts at the venue, so they shipped them to us, and all of Team Canada sent them to one of the lifters in Edmonton, and I saw her at the meet I volunteered at. So finally got my meet shirt, and it was either bright yellow or white, and I have so many white t-shirts and they always get dirty, so I figured why not bright yellow. Anyway, so the reason I am re-recording this actually ties in nicely to my lessons learned. So the reason I am re-recording this video is that I filmed my initial video at my house with those big windows behind me, so it was all backlit, and funnily enough, I was using my Sony 20mm f1.8, which if you saw my least favorite lenses video, you will know that one of the issues I had with it is that it lost focus a lot. And it lost focus so much in that video. Like, it actually lost focus for like several minutes at a time. Like, I don't even know if it was focused on anything behind me, but it was just a blurry mess. So that is why I'm re-recording it. And lately, due to some technical issues, but I do know that my camera has a hard time focusing when the scene is backlit, so that is partially maybe my fault also. Anyway, lesson learned. So, okay, I have divided up my lessons into 3 main categories. Hugo's come to say hello also. Hey, Bubba. Anyway, 3 main categories: technology, techniques, and editing. I wish I'd come up with a T word for that, but we'll roll with it. Anyway, so technology-wise, one of the biggest things I learned is audio. I know that sounds very broad, but I'll give you some examples. So there was one video just a few days ago where I did the 25 questions with myself, where the mic was not properly plugged in. So I had to re-record that video because the audio was just unlistenable, whatever the word is. It just was not pleasant to hear. Here you go. Another thing I learned with regard to audio is that I have this little lavalier mic, this little lapel mic that I wear sometimes, and just the way I was wearing it, and obviously my hair is long, it would sometimes rub up against it and make this awful rustling noise. So I don't know if you all heard it. I hope you didn't. I hope it was just me in the edit, but it was super annoying. So what I did is I actually upgraded my microphone, so I do hope the audio is better now. I upgraded to a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus, and so far I have been happy with it. It turns off automatically with my camera, which is awesome because I know I would forget to turn it on separately. And it is gigantic, which is sort of, I don't know, I like being a little more discreet. It's not discreet, but if it gets the job done and the result is the best quality audio, then it is worth it, I think. My camera's not exactly discreet anyway, so. Okay, now my techniques section ties in with technology a bit also. For example, I'm still learning how to use my 360 cam. A few of my settings weren't set correctly the few times I've used them, so it's been really shaky or just really unclear. So I think that is mostly just me not knowing what settings to use and just having to experiment with it a little more. So that's something I have to work on. Also, and this is not just in relation to my 360 cam, but with my big camera as well. And I started filming more with my big camera, like that evening in the Dome, the fondue dinner. A lot of that was filmed with my big camera, with my mirrorless camera. And I really, really like the results from that. I really like the footage. But one thing that I would like to learn how to do better is to really get steady shots so that in post I'm not having to click on stabilization, because 1, that doesn't necessarily give you the most buttery smooth stabilization, and 2, if there's any kind of movement, I found that when shooting like moving people, the heads kind of get weirdly distorted, or just weird things happen sometimes. And if I could just have a steady hand and get some steady footage on my own, going into the edit, that is just way, way better. Okay, and then another thing I learned, and this was a huge one and I'm still learning it, is shooting in low light. So if you saw my alchemy video, the speakeasy video, that bar was so dark. Like, we got there at about 5 o'clock, so we had a little bit of daylight, but once that sunset, it was like, there was not a lot of lighting in that bar. So there was a lot of noise, a lot of the video wasn't super clear. So if I'm in a situation where I cannot control the amount of light in it, I have to know the camera settings that will allow me to get some good footage. And that means taking things into account, like shutter speed, which is tied in with frame rate, and also sensor size is important too. So if I'm just filming with like my little 360 cam or my action cam or whatever I have, that footage is not going to be as nice as my full frame sensor, as this beautiful mirrorless that you're seeing right now. So that's the thing I still have to learn. And then also settings on that mirrorless, of course, as well. So that's the thing that I am still learning. I find it kind of hard to not just adjust settings on the fly, but to think about it. Like if something's happening, if I'm at an event and I want to, I just want to flip it into video and take a video right away, I'm not thinking necessarily about how much light's getting in. Like I have my ISO set to auto and the shutter speed and frame rate are constant, just the automatic settings that I set myself. But when there is not a lot of available light, those settings might not be the most ideal. So something I have learned and I'm still learning, and I mean, all of this is always a work in progress. Practice makes, if not perfect, it should make it better. So live and learn, right? And I find for me, making mistakes is the best way I learn. It sucks and it's painful and embarrassing, but it's an effective way to learn. Okay, anyway, last point is editing. So about a week or 2 weeks into my vlog challenge, I moved from iMovie to Final Cut Pro. I was still doing some things in iMovie and then reopening the project in Final Cut Pro, which I assumed would save all of these settings. But I did find out later that some settings, like for example on iMovie you can click lower the volume of other clips, which I thought was a super useful feature that doesn't exist in Final Cut Pro. Like I think you have to do it manually. As far as I know, if you do know and I'm missing something, let me know in the comments, please. But that didn't carry over into Final Cut Pro. So that was one lesson learned. I'm still learning. I've got so much to learn in Final Cut Pro. It has so many features and it's such powerful software that is really, really great. But there is a learning curve, obviously, with that. And one thing I learned right off the bat with Final Cut Pro, and this is also probably the settings I have, of course, yes, but to save in the highest quality from Final Cut Pro can take forever. One video, I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the shorter ones actually. It was probably under 5 minutes. It took overnight and most of the next day just to save the file. And the file wasn't even huge. It was like, I don't know, 10 gigabytes, 15 gigabytes, like that's a big file, but normally it saves much faster than like 24 hours. So anyway, that is one big reason that my videos haven't been coming out every single day, just because it takes so long. Like if it takes half a day to download, and that's not normal. I think normal is like maybe an hour, maybe 2. Normally now it's like an hour. But if it takes that long to just download the file, like imagine how long it takes to upload. Most uploads are overnight and some of the next day. So I hope the quality's better, because that's what I'm really, really aiming to do with these bigger, more complicated files, is I want to give you all some better content. So let me know if you see a difference. I hope you do. I hope it's worth it. And that's basically all I have written down of specifics that I've learned in the last 28 days. I am, of course, always learning so many more things. And each video, I always sort of think of something that, oh, I wish I had done that more. Like, one example is I would like to vlog more. And by vlog more, I don't mean just like sit down videos talking to the camera. Although I love these, I hope you like them too. And I do enjoy filming these. These are a lot of fun. But when I'm out and about and I'm doing things, I typically just film things that are going on. Like when we went to the Botanic Gardens for dinner. for that fondue dinner. But I didn't talk to the camera, I was just filming things. So, I don't know, I like watching vlogs where it feels like I'm there with the person, I'm not just seeing something. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd like to see from me, but that's something I would like to try more. And as much as I love making those montages, like those are just so much fun and so rewarding to make. Just personally, I sort of like the drama of just following along on like a beautiful scene, and I like that, but I would like to build more of a connection with you. So that's something I want to work on too. And then in terms of like technology, I love gear. I don't know if you can tell. In the last few weeks, in addition to my 360 cam, I also added a DJI Pocket 2 to my arsenal, which I'm also still learning to use. There's always a learning curve to everything you get, but I really, really do like that so far. The Pocket 2 is like, I can show you another time, but it's like that big, and it has a gimbal, it's like a built-in gimbal. And I just really like that it's small and discreet, and actually the video quality I've been really impressed by so far. So that's one thing. And I would eventually like to add a drone to the collection. I'm looking at the DJI Mini 2, but I hear that the Mini 3 is coming out soon-ish, so we'll see if I wait for that. Anyway, I think I've made some progress in the last 28 days. I know there's a lot of room for improvement, and as I mentioned before, practice makes progress. It should lead to some improvements at least, so stay tuned. Anyway, thank you all as always for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Please leave a comment if you have anything to say, if you have any suggestions, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. All right, thanks again for watching. Bye.